Extinction unfolds in a stark, frozen world devastated by a viral pandemic that has resulted in the near annihilation of humanity, transforming the infected into feral, zombie-like beings. Central to the narrative are themes of survival, isolation, trauma, and the resilient bonds of love and family amid despair. The film begins with a gripping flashback depicting a military evacuation of civilians amidst burgeoning infection. During this chaotic moment, two friends, Patrick and Jack, find themselves on a bus with Jack's wife and their infant daughter. The bus is suddenly besieged by the infected, leading to a tragic separation when Jack's wife is bitten. Jack is left alone to care for his daughter, while Patrick escapes independently. Fast forward years later, the world finds itself in a descent into nuclear winter, blanketed in snow and harshly low temperatures, crafting a desolate and silent landscape. The previously aggressive infected appear to have succumbed to the cold, yet Patrick and Jack are now estranged neighbors living in adjacent houses in a remote town, their communication severed by a bitter fallout from the outbreak's aftermath. Jack, now a hermit-like figure, strives to protect his daughter Luana, affectionately called Lou, from the outside world, homeschooling her and restricting her exposure to the remnants of life beyond their home. Lou, an intelligent and inquisitive girl, is driven by a desire to explore her surroundings and learn about the world, particularly interested in the enigmatic neighbor, Patrick. Meanwhile, Patrick, accompanied only by his loyal dog, grapples with profound guilt and isolation. He uses old cassette tapes and alcohol to cope with haunting memories from the past. Despite his somber demeanor, he secretly watches over Jack and Lou, a lingering affection evident despite their estrangement. The narrative takes a turn when Lou secretly visits Patrick, challenging her father's protective boundaries. This encounter uncovers a gentler side of Patrick, and she discovers he was once a cherished friend of her parents. Jack's furious reaction upon learning of Lou's visit ignites a confrontation between the two men, compelling them to address the unresolved tension that severed their friendship. However, their strained relationship is soon overshadowed by a harrowing revelation: the infected may have re-emerged. After an attack on Patrick's dog, he investigates and uncovers evidence that these creatures have not only persisted but have evolved to become even more cunning and lethal predators, adapting terrifyingly to the frigid environment. This newfound danger thrusts Jack, Patrick, and Lou into an urgent struggle for survival, forcing them to reconcile their past and unite against a common threat. In Extinction, a group of men must overcome their bitter animosity to safeguard Lou and themselves amid a perilous environment. As danger escalates, they begin to fortify their homes and devise defense strategies. Patrick, with a glimmer of hope, shares that he has been monitoring emergency radio frequencies, suggesting there may be other survivors. However, Jack, embodying a more cynical perspective, struggles to embrace this hopeful possibility. As the threat of the creatures intensifies, they launch a fierce attack on Patrick's house, leaving him injured yet barely escaping with his life. Following the assault, Jack and Lou take Patrick in, marking their first time living together in years. The close quarters foster an environment for healing old wounds. Jack offers an apology for his past behavior, while Patrick expresses his regrets as well. Lou, intuitively sensing the shift in dynamics, starts to feel a sense of hope for a brighter future. Their fragile serenity is abruptly disrupted when the infected launch a siege on their home. In a gripping sequence, the trio bands together to fend off the attackers, utilizing their familiarity with the terrain and the structure of their home, along with any makeshift weapons they can muster. However, during the chaos, Patrick suffers critical injuries while valiantly defending Lou. In a harrowing moment, he chooses to sacrifice himself, buying Jack and Lou precious time to escape. This act of bravery serves as a poignant redemption for Patrick, allowing him to reconcile with his past failures and affirming the deep love he harbors for his makeshift family. Having narrowly escaped, Jack and Lou venture through the treacherous snowy wilderness. Drawing upon the radio transmissions Patrick previously detected, they finally arrive at what seems to be a functioning survivor outpost. The film culminates with Jack and Lou being accepted by other humans, illuminating a faint ember of hope for a new beginning amidst their struggles. Beyond being a mere zombie thriller, Extinction delivers an emotionally charged narrative that explores the human costs associated with survival. Key themes manifest throughout the film, notably isolation and communication, where the physical proximity of Jack and Patrick is countered by their emotional estrangement, rendering them more isolated than the surrounding apocalypse. Lou stands as the bridge connecting the two men, symbolizing innocence and the inherent need for connection. Additionally, the themes of parenthood and protection emerge, highlighting Jack's evolution into a protective father molded by trauma, alongside Patrick's journey toward redemption, marked by his willingness to become a guardian, even at the ultimate sacrifice of his own life. Extinction, 2014, presents a nuanced exploration of evolution and survival through its character-driven narrative, illustrating how the infected become colder, calculating hunters, paralleling humanity's own emotional and physical adaptations in a harsh world. Set against a bleak, post-apocalyptic backdrop, the film emphasizes that survival transcends mere endurance. It involves a struggle to retain one's humanity amidst chaos and despair. The theme of hope versus cynicism is palpable through the character of Patrick, whose radio signals symbolize a persistent belief in a better existence beyond the desolate wasteland. In contrast, Jack, scarred by loss and the traumatic memories of a world turned upside down, initially dismisses this hope. Their character arcs signify a profound shift from mere survival to actively pursuing what it means to truly live. Unlike conventional zombie films that rely heavily on action-packed sequences, Extinction adopts a more deliberate, slow-burn atmosphere, where the snowy landscape itself becomes a vital character. This muted environment accentuates the feelings of isolation and the fragility of human life. The film's carefully crafted tone, achieved through a stark color palette and desolate settings, evokes a chilling and contemplative ambience that lingers throughout its runtime. Dialogue is minimal, allowing for an emphasis on silence and visual storytelling that magnifies small, poignant gestures. The intricate dynamics between Jack, Patrick, and Lou are explored in depth, focusing on their psychological complexities rather than conventional monster confrontations. The infected are present but sparingly, their existence leans toward suspense rather than overwhelming gore, imbued with a mythic essence that evokes the fear of the unknown lurking in the shadows. As a thoughtful contribution to the post-apocalyptic genre, Extinction delves into the personal ramifications of civilization's collapse, examining not only societal changes but also the deeply rooted impact on relationships and individual inner lives. Where the infected evoke terror, the film's true antagonists are the emotional scars of loss, regret, and shattered trust. The film ultimately conveys messages of reconciliation, sacrifice, and the resilience of hope, asserting that even in total devastation, opportunities for rebuilding remain viable, be it family, friendship, or future aspirations. The story begins amidst a global outbreak, with a military convoy attempting to evacuate survivors from a city besieged by a mysterious infection. Jack, his wife Emma, and their infant daughter Lou are swept into this turmoil, enduring chaos as they confront the tragic reality of loss when the ambush of the infected forces Jack to flee with only his daughter. Time passes, and a once vibrant world becomes engulfed in snow, mirroring Jack and Patrick's estrangement as both endure their grief in neighboring isolation. Jack and Lou live a secluded life, shaped by Jack's overprotectiveness and paranoia. Lou, a sharp and inquisitive young girl, is sheltered from the outside world, as Jack implements strict routines to keep her safe from the hypothetical dangers of infected beings. He educates her at home, meticulously crafting a reality that keeps the painful truths of the past and the existence of her mother hidden from her. Jack's philosophy revolves around control, believing that without his strict oversight, Lou could be in grave danger. In stark contrast, Patrick leads a solitary life with his dog, plagued by loneliness and drowning his sorrows in alcohol. He reminisces about the past through old cassette tapes of radio shows, yearning for connection as he occasionally broadcasts messages on a shortwave radio, hoping to reach any other survivors. Although Jack lives nearby, years of estrangement stemming from a grave falling out due to the outbreak have created a chasm between them, preventing any form of communication or reconciliation. However, Patrick clandestinely observes Jack and Lou, a silent witness to their insulated existence. The dynamics shift when Lou, driven by her curiosity and urge for adventure, decides to sneak over to Patrick's house. Initially startled by her unexpected visit, Patrick soon warms to the interaction. Their conversation flows with kindness and curiosity, evoking memories of the close ties he once had with Jack and his late wife, Emma. The brief encounter serves as a poignant reminder for Patrick of the friendships lost to the chaos that consumed their lives. When Jack learns of Lou's venture, fury erupts. He reprimands her severely and continues to entrench them further into isolation by forbidding any future contact with Patrick. This confrontation not only highlights Jack's struggles but also unveils the underlying traumas both men carry, an intricate web of blame, regret, and shattered trust that has come to define their fractured bond. As tensions mount in their isolated worlds, unsettling signs emerge in Patrick's home. His dog begins to act restless, alerting him to an alarming presence. When an attack occurs outside one night, leaving behind blood and peculiar footprints in the snow, a chilling realization strikes Patrick. The infected may not have perished with the harsh conditions but instead have adapted to this frigid environment. Now the specter of danger looms closer than ever, threatening the fragile sense of safety that Jack has fought so hard to maintain for Lou. If you enjoy watching this video, then subscribe to Angel Recaps for the latest movies explanation.